right.
Sorry, Coach.
Man, I was excited about today's the first day that we've been in the afternoon. It got a little tropical yesterday in practice, which was good because we need some of that. Today was a planned practice to have our first day in the afternoon. I thought they handled it really well. Ended it with 2 live periods, short yardage and goal line. Really physical at the end. Man, just some great things going on, but one guy I want to talk about that's probably not getting a lot is our guy that we brought in, Mitch, Griffith from Wake Forest. He had a great day today, but man, he is such a great person for this culture. He stood up and talked to the team the other day, and about 4 days ago, it was a full year, calendar year, that he was out of football working construction. And it was all about appreciating what we get to do every day, because he got up for a year at 2 a.m. and worked from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. working construction and pouring concrete. And as hard as this seems at times, he said you need to appreciate it because it's a lot more fun to play football and pour concrete. And so he tipped his hat to all the construction workers and everything that they do, but he'd much rather be playing football, and he made them appreciate it. It's cool because he brings so much energy to our practices, and so really excited about having him on the team. With that, questions?
You brought Xavier back in as a coach after being a player. Do you see a similar path maybe for Mitch, speaking to him about like that?
Oh, I'll take him I would hire him in a second. You know, his dad's a coach. He played for his dad. He has got a high football IQ. He's a really, really good football player. And so another thing, if things that we could do with him, man, we won't shy away from it because he's won games in the ACC. He was a captain on his previous team, so it just kind of talks to his character. But after football, if he wants to, we have another year with him. He got a year back from the NCAA, so we have another year with him. So whenever it's all said and done, man, I'd love for him to coach at Texas Tech.
So to clarify, he has another year next year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He didn't, or we weren't sure. We petitioned the NCAA, so he's got this year and next year.
Coach, I saw Zambrano and Vinny off to the side, not practicing, and also Reggie in a yellow jersey but running around.
Yeah. So Reggie will be out of his yellow jersey on Thursday. It's all been off his toe. We're trying to get as much volume, but don't want to get him into some situations that the stuff that he's doing, we can control more. So he'll be full. He'll be in a white jersey. Zambrano should be back on Monday. He's got a lower back, and then Vinny is an intestinal deal, so I'm hoping we'll get him back. It could be Monday, but sometime next week. He was practicing nothing as far as body. It's really, he's got some other issues.
How's Quinton Joyner been looking?
Really good, man. He's a guy that they gave me a stat the other day, and I don't know if this is true or not, but my guys gave it to me. They said that last year Taj, which I would take Taj every day of the week and twice on Sunday, but he broke a tackle every 4.9 carries. Q broke a tackle last year every 3 carries, so it kind of tells you the quality of running back. It's really good to have those guys. I'm going to keep saying it. We're going to nickname them the committee, and they really are so unselfish. And there's a day like in our short yardage with the ones, Q went with the ones, but when goal line, Q went, but when we went short yardage, it was Cam's turn, so they're all running with the ones and the twos. And then Adam usually gets the 3s, Adam Hill, but he's doing really well.
Good, and then you kind of mentioned Taj. Have you talked to any of the guys who have been drafted? How training camp's going for them?
Yeah, it's going good. I've talked to Taj. I've talked to Caleb. Caleb actually sent me a picture this morning. JT Woods, who I coached, recruited out of Cibolo Steel, and he played at Baylor. They took a selfie and sent it to me this morning because JT's with the Raiders. There's a good number. I think there's 4 or 5 guys that I coached that are with the Raiders right now, and so talk to those guys. They're doing well. Taj is doing well. I can't wait, to see those guys. I know they've got joint practices and everything like that, but I can't wait to see them. They're fixing to start playing. And, Caleb, when I talked to him, he's just like, Coach, man, I'm just trying to fit in anywhere, whether it's at center, guard, tackle, just getting reps anywhere I can get them.
And then, what's going on with the hat? Is that effort?
Yeah, effort. So I have 4 hats. I've stuck with effort. I'd started doing this in 2003 at Cedar Hill. There was always some message, and I've got energy. So if I ever think that we're kind of feeling lackadaisical, I'll throw the energy hat on. And then win pre-snap. That usually happens when we're in a scrimmage. And then I added one this year to what's next. Because that's been a big part of what we're trying to get this team to understand is play the play and play the next play, no matter what happens. We had some what next moments out there today. Had a couple of bad snaps and then had a good play after that. You just got to get to the next play. So just something else to bring attention to the things we're trying to do.
Last season, you brought in some officials to work with your guys on line of scrimmage stuff. Where do you feel like they're at right now in terms of discipline?
It is show a lot when we scrimmage on Saturday. We've been having officials. We've had officials at every practice. The other day it was one pre-snap penalty with the ones, one with the twos, and we had a couple on punts. So not where we want to be. That's one of the biggest things that we have got to make a huge step. First year for Sheridan Wilson to play center last year, and he's a perfectionist. In a good way, but sometimes you just got to roll with it. You got to make the calls, and you can't always be perfect. The defense is going to move, and so you got to roll with it. And so that's a big emphasis on the officials being out here right now. And then I think a lot of it will happen. We'll have Big 12 officials in our first scrimmage, and I think a lot of that will show where we are pre-snap penalty, because the anxiety and anxiety is not a bad thing. The nervous energy will go up even more whenever we're back in Jones AT&T.
What, do you have any particular objective or point of emphasis for the scrimmage on Saturday?
We'll add a couple of more plays. Just kind of, I think the training staff, Mike's group, and our Lance, our strength staff, did a phenomenal job of getting our guys into shape. But it's just like y'all know. I mean, being in great shape and then being in football shape is 2 different things. And so, having a longer the last 2 days we've added plays to we started out with 4, then we'd go a rack of 5. Today was a rack of 6. We'll get some more of that in the scrimmage. There'll be some red zone, but we've done a lot of red zone. We're going to hit so we've got a recovery day tomorrow, and then we're going to do 2-minute drill on Thursday. We're going to do coming out on Friday, and so we should have hit at least every situation one time going to scrimmage. So hopefully we get some of those situations.
Hey, back on Hunter Zambrano and Vinny for a moment. With as much time as they've missed, and how much does that affect their ability to win jobs just to begin the season, since both of those guys have strong competition at those spots?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, like anybody, no matter, whether it's a hamstring or a lower back or anything. Like, we all know the story of how one of the greatest baseball players of all time became one of the greatest baseball players all the time. I mean, you can get Wally pipped in a hurry. And so the good thing, if they were really young players, I would kind of have a little bit more panic about those guys. But since they've played a lot, and when they were going, before they were out, they've missed the last 2 practices, maybe 3, but the last 2 for sure. They looked good. Like, I felt good. They felt good about where they were at. And so there is a lot of competition, though, and so it's when you're missing practices, there's somebody in there that's going to take advantage of you missing practices.
Coach, we talked a lot about transfers, and rightfully so, but who are some young guys that are standing out early on camp?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question, man. Leighton Stone made a huge catch today. We went team compete. We came out of stretch. We went team compete, put the ball down on the 35, and great pocket. He's getting some reps with the 2s and with the 3s. It was a great pocket around Will. Will delivered it was a 3rd and a long play, so it was a first down to continue the drive. He made a big play. Mitch It was a scramble play. Mitch escaped and hit Tristan Gentry for a huge play. I like, those young guys like Tristan Gentry and Leighton Stone and Michael Deaver and Bryson Jones. We feel really good about those young receivers, about that we found some guys that really love football and want to play. I've been really impressed. So Connor Carty came in, and he came in the spring or early. He was a mid-year off an injury from high school, and so he didn't go through spring football. These last 3 days have been his first full days of contact and going through everything. Really impressed with him. Like I literally sent his mom a text and said, look, your son is doing a really good job. Because he's running some with the twos with Vinny being out, and it's hard to hold up because our twos are A.J. Holmes and Braylon Rigsby and Amir Washington and Jaden Cofield. And here's this little freshman going against guys that have started in the Big 12. And he's really, he's holding up. He reminds me a lot of Xavier Newman. So Xavier Newman, we recruited, I got him out of DeSoto. He started, because of COVID, he actually started 5 years of college at Baylor, and now he's in the league. And there's not a lot of freshmen that are ready. I'm not saying he is, but he's shown that he's not overwhelmed. So really impressed with him.
Back on Mitch for a sec, how obviously Barron has to do his own leadership
Yeah.
skills and all that, but how beneficial is it to have somebody like Mitch who has all that experience that can help those younger quarterbacks as they're kind of working their way through the process?
Yeah, it's huge to have a guy like that. And it's good for Barron, because he's played a lot of football too. Mitch has, and so it's been great for Will. It's great for Chubby. It's great for Holden Phillips. I mean, all those guys are learning from him, and he's just one of those guys. We've all been in situations to where, man, it just wasn't good, and you're frustrated, and man, you wake up every morning, you're like, man, what is going on? Do I really want to do this? So he has a whole different perspective for those young guys of appreciate what's going on, no matter how hard the day is.
Got time for two more.
Coach, you used a phrase last year, you and Coach Drew are both, paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you've reflected on that and what you feel like the change is going to be for this year.
Well, Shield's a lot different, man. He's, golly, I mean, you talking about a guy that's A to B to C, his install, he follows his install. By the time we get to the first game, these dudes will have run the base defense, any exotic pressures. They will run that hundreds and hundreds of times. I mean, so I think if you ask Ben Roberts, he feels like he is as free as he's ever been. Probably back to where he was a redshirt freshman, because you're young, you don't know what's going on, so you just go out and play football, and he played really well. And so I think that's one thing that Shield has really brought is, it's not simpler, it's just his style of teaching. Rob Green's style of teaching, Darcel. Jack Teachy has been a huge hire. Jack coached, he's coordinated this defense. It was at Wofford, but he's coordinated this defense. And so he coached Rob Green and Shillwood, so he's been a huge hire. So I think those guys feel they've been freed up to really play hard.
Coach, you talked with media day about trying to simulate chaos in
Yeah.
practices. How have your players been responding to that, and how's that been going for y'all?
They must have listened because they responded really well. I had a couple today. I got one on Barron. It was 3rd and long, and it was a big play to CD, and I called a sack, and we had to kick a field goal. And their response, they didn't get down. They came back out the next time they were out and really responded. And so, they've responded well. Which has been good, and so have the coaches. So I think they heard what I was trying to do, because I've been trying to create as much chaos as possible, and they've done a really good job.
Can you give us a couple examples of that?
Yeah, literally there's no reason to. I just chose to, but I blew the whistle and ripped every coach. They were the defense, and Coach Wood walked by and patted me on the butt and said, "Hey man, we were really trying to get our field goal block out there, but the field goal block was kind of slow and transition, so I blew the whistle." And so the players usually are like, I don't want to get yelled at, so I better pick it up. And then today, throwing the sack, you know, I've given a first down off of a pass interference, but just trying to do as much of that, sudden change. There was one day I probably did it too much. I was changing fields on them, so the practice schedule said this, and I would say, hey, we're going on the grass. Probably did it too much that day, but they still responded well.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Hold on, I got one more thing. Man, you know, this is an exciting year. We got a lot of pub going on, and social media was funny today. I think we're on everything. You know, The Athletic put out a great article, and there's been some great articles. Man, we need y'all to be here. Like that first game, we need 60,000+ Red Raiders. I promise you, it will be worth coming to Lubbock, Texas, and watching these guys play. They are passionate, they love each other, they care about each other, and they're passionate about this university. So please come out and support us, because it's going to be a fun year. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.